So think about this for a second. What if the entire future of American aviation, from, supersonic jets all the way to drone deliveries, was totally reshaped, like overnight, on just one single day? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today, a sweeping new vision for the skies, all set in motion by 3 critical executive orders.
Okay, so it all hinges on this one single day, June 6th, 2025. That's the day a brand new blueprint for American air power, we're talking commercial, private, the whole shebang, was put into motion. Yeah, that one date is the spark for everything we're about to unpack.
So why the sudden dramatic shift? Well, the thing is, America's leadership in aviation, which used to be totally undisputed, has been facing some pretty serious challenges lately. So let's get into exactly what problem these new policies are trying to fix. You see, for decades, the rulebook just hasn't kept pace with technology. I mean, you've got these incredible new technologies popping up, like advanced drones and super quiet supersonic engines. But the regulations, they were kind of stuck in the past. The executive orders themselves say that outdated and overly restrictive regulations were stifling ingenuity, while at the very same time, all these new threats started to emerge. It created this critical moment where the U.S. had to do something big, or risk getting left behind. All right, so the first pillar of this new vision, it's a big one. We're talking about bringing back supersonic flight. For 50 years, you just couldn't fly faster than the speed of sound over the U.S., mainly because of the sonic booms. This new policy? It's not just a minor tweak. It's about tearing up that old ban, betting that new tech can finally reclaim America's lead in high-speed travel.
And when you look at the shift, it's a night and day difference. On one hand, you've got the legacy of that 50-year ban. Innovation was choked off, leadership was handed over to others, and on the other hand, a brand new mandate to basically unleash American engineers to go after that next generation of faster, quieter, and safer jets. It's a total 180.
And listen, this isn't just some vague promise. The order lays out a really aggressive roadmap for the FAA. First up, they've got 180 days to repeal the ban. That's it. Then, within 18 months, they have to propose new, modern noise rules. And finally, a final binding rule has to be on the books within 2 years. The key thing here is that this whole plan is built for speed. It's about action, not getting stuck in endless committee meetings. Okay, let's pivot to our next topic. Drones. This is a technology that's, it's both a huge opportunity and a really serious threat. And the new policy tackles this head-on, treating it like a two-sided coin. It's got a strategy to deal with the danger while at the same time unleashing all that amazing potential.
So let's start with the peril. And this quote from one of the orders, it doesn't mince words. It says that the weaponization of drones by criminals, terrorists, and hostile actors is a direct and growing threat to the homeland. That right there sets the stage for a major crackdown.
But then, in the very same match of executive orders, you get this quote, showing the complete flip side. This one talks about the incredible promise, right? How drones are already this revolutionary technology that's transforming entire industries. This really shows you that core tension the policy has to navigate, security versus innovation. So let's dig a little deeper into that security challenge. Yeah, the policy is absolutely laser-focused on restoring something it calls American airspace sovereignty. The whole goal here is to regain control and shut down the threats from people using drones for bad stuff. And we're not talking about abstract threats here. The order gets really specific, calling out things like drug cartels using drones to smuggle fentanyl, or dropping contraband into prisons, even spying on law enforcement. It also points to the danger of unauthorized drones flying over big crowds at stadiums or over critical spots like military bases. These are the very real problems these security measures are designed to stop. And just like with the supersonic plan, the timeline here is incredibly fast, which tells you how urgent they see this threat. So get this, in just 30 days, they're authorizing new grants so local police can get their hands on counter-drone tech. Within 60 days, law enforcement gets real-time access to drone ID data. And in 90 days, there have to be new recommendations on the table to protect our most sensitive sites. The message is loud and clear. Act now. Okay, so now let's flip that coin over and look at the economic side of things. This is where we see the really ambitious plan to make sure the U.S. doesn't just play in the drone economy, but actually leads it. The goal is nothing less than total American drone dominance. The whole strategy is built on 3 main pillars. First, speed up the integration of drones into our airspace. Basically, cut through the red tape. Second, boost domestic manufacturing so we can build a secure supply chain right here at home. And third, get out there and actively promote the export of trusted American-made drones to the rest of the world.
And you guessed it, the timeline for innovation is just as aggressive. So, within just 30 days, they want proposed rules for what's called beyond visual line of sight flights. Now, BVLOS is the real game changer. It's what you need for things like long-distance package delivery. Then, in 90 days, a pilot program for so-called eVTOLs, the electric air taxis and cargo drones everyone's talking about. By 120 days, they want to start using AI to speed up approvals. And get this, in only 240 days, a final rule for routine BVLOS operations. It's all about knocking down barriers to let innovation fly, literally.
And a really critical part of this whole economic strategy is a Made in America mandate. The policy basically tells government agencies, hey, when you buy drones, prioritize the ones made right here in the U.S. It also works to secure our supply chain from, and I'm quoting here, undue foreign influence. That's a pretty clear signal about geopolitical competition over technology. And it ties the economic plan right back into national security.
Okay, so we've got supersonic jets making a comeback, a major crackdown on drone threats, and a huge push for a booming drone economy. Let's take a step back and see how these three separate orders actually fit together to create one single cohesive blueprint for the future of American flight.
All right, when you pull it all together, you can see these three really clear policy goals, each with a main action and specific agencies running the show. For the supersonic comeback, the FAA is in charge of repealing that 50-year ban and setting new noise standards. For countering drone threats, that's on the Department of Justice and Homeland Security. And for building the drone economy, you've got the Departments of Transportation and Commerce leading the charge. You can see it's this coordinated all-hands-on-deck push to completely remake our skies.
So look, what does all this high-level policy stuff actually mean for you in your everyday life? Well, it could mean flying from New York to LA in what feels like no time at all. It could mean seeing automated package deliveries landing right on your doorstep. And, maybe most importantly, it means a real, focused effort to make the skies over our neighborhoods and communities a lot more secure. These are the kinds of real-world changes this whole blueprint is trying to make happen.
Which brings us to one last big question to think about. When you put it all together, the return of incredible speed with supersonic jets and the full rollout of a secure American-led drone industry, could this be the dawn of a new golden age in American aviation? I guess only time will tell.